money, oil, and beauty. For a long time, Venezuela was one of the richest countries in the world. In fact, because of our low inflation rate, we were a wealthier country than the US. But that changed drastically. Now, we're a sad and poor country that is getting worse every day. Venezuela has been 20 years under communist dictatorship, and I want to share my family's story with you. I have particularly felt the decade of my country, all at the hands of our ex-president, Hugo Chavez, and his successor, the dictator Nicolas. He's responsible of eliminating good education, food, security, freedom of expression, and all kinds of aspirations to be better. In my neighborhood, I saw people who work as gardeners, teachers, children's, whole families, fighting over a piece of rotten meat that they saw in the trash full of rats. In fact, there is a time when homeless did not beg for money. Instead, they begged for leftover food. Unfortunately, in Venezuela, you don't live. You just try to survive. We reached a point where social classes were very drastic. Either you're rich or you're extremely poor. And many wonder, why did nobody raise up against the government? Well, we tried, but it didn't work because the people who were in the opposition sold themselves to the government. And then they start killing those who were in the opposition, and they did not allow themselves to be sold. And there's where my family comes in. In 70s, my grandparents founded a farm of more than 3,700 acres. There, they plant corn, peanuts, and also serve for the herding of animals. When arriving the communism in my country, they start expropriating those productive farms. And because we, the owners, were opposite to the regime, our farm was invaded, stole, and burned. It's important to note that next to this farm were the lands of my great-grandparents. More than 40,000 acres burned in the fire of the communism. You don't know how this affected my family. My grandfather, who worked all his life to maintain those farms, was so traumatized by the events that now, 9 years later, he's still attending to consultations with a psychologist because he has not accepted what happened. My uncle was one of the most involved in opposition politics in my country. For a long time, he worked to help those in need in my country, so much so that they missed many family events, such as my birthdays. Out of the blue, they had to flee to Miami 2 years ago. He was alone, with his wife, a suitcase, and not enough money to survive. His only desire was to fulfill the American dream, and they succeed. Now, he have a house, he have a car, and he work in a 5-star hotel, and he's really proud of being Venezuelan. In August of this year, my immediate family was forced to flee my homeland because the government was treating ourselves as well. Although I came here with my family, we need to leave behind my relatives and friends with needs. We need to send care packages with necessary items such as shampoo, soap, and food. And sadly, we hope that those boxes are not stolen by the Venezuelan military when arriving in the country. This place in the United States is such different than Venezuela. We went from seeing extreme poverty back home to witnessing people throwing away what they don't want to eat. And I don't blame them because most of these people do not know what is happening in my country. And the truth is that we all need to have the right of live a dignified life. You don't know how lucky you are. A few months ago, some people laughed me because I didn't know how to use the vending machine. However, if I don't know how to use it, it's because in my country, we do not have those services everywhere. We don't have sodas, we don't have Pop-Tarts or supermarkets that you can go to. In fact, you can just go for shopping the day that you're assigned by your ID code. It takes more than 4 hours standing in a line full of sunlight to wait for a piece of bread. And that's why now that I managed to escape the hell that the dictatorship has created, I don't know how to show how happy I feel every time that I can leave my house or go to buy something. My family's struggle to survive and overcome the problem in my country was a real journey. I will always miss my country. But the truth is that I want to have a future. I want to go to the university. I want to live the life of a normal teenager. And I know that here, I have the opportunity to fulfill that dream. And I am thankful every day to all those people who do not discriminate against me based on the fact that I am from Venezuela. I am a normal person, and I deserve the opportunity to be happy.